Okay guys, we got history making. This right here is Aaron on Bay County TV. How are we doing that? Well, from this computer, this is Aaron, and we have it switched from, it was on a program in Airwaves, but we switched it from Airwaves to this input right here. And that's Aaron from this, so that's why Biden's on the air. So it doesn't switch to his program or the bulletin board. We have this opened, and so it's stuck now on this. And if you really want to, you can use the microphone and talk on TV. Too bad I didn't get that on film, but that's okay though. Let's just listen to Biden speak.
And strategic dead ends. The next few weeks, months, we hard on the people of Ukraine. Putin has unleashed a great pain on them. But the Ukrainian people have known 30 years of independence. They have repeatedly shown that they will not tolerate anyone who tries to take their country backwards. This is a dangerous moment for all of Europe, for the freedom around the world. Putin has committed an assault on the very principles that uphold the global peace. Now, the entire world sees clearly what Putin and his Kremlin allies are really all about. This was never about a genuine security concerns on their part. It was always about naked aggression.
Oh, and that light right here is just the sound input.
By any means necessary.
You know, I don't know why it's in the red though.
Russia's neighbors through coercion and corruption, by changing borders by force, and ultimately by choosing a war without a cause. Putin's actions betray his sinister vision for the future of our world, one where nations take what they want by force. But it is a vision that the United States,
and this is the first time doing this too,
will oppose with every tool of our considerable power. The United States and our allies and partners will emerge from this stronger, more united, more determined, and more purposeful. Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that. Putin will be a pariah on the international stage. Any nation that counters Russia's naked aggression against Ukraine will be stained by association. When the history of this era is written, Putin's choice to make a totally unjustifiable war on Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Liberty, democracy, human dignity, these are the forces far more powerful than fear and oppression. They cannot be extinguished by tyrants like Putin and his armies. They cannot be erased by people, from people's hearts and hopes by any amount of violence and intimidation. They endure. The contest between democracy and autocracy, between sovereignty and subjugation, make no mistake, freedom will prevail. God bless the people of a free and democratic Ukraine, and may God protect our troops.
Oh, I was going to ask questions.
Associated Press, Zeke.
Here comes the press conference.
And what interactions have you had with the Russian government?
I heard the first part. Do I have any plans to speak with Putin at this point? And what?
What communications have you had with the Kremlin as far as military operations in Ukraine and making sure this does not spiral into a larger conflict?
Well, it's a large conflict already. The way we're going to ensure it's not going to spiral to a larger conflict is by providing all the forces needed in the Eastern European nations that are members of NATO. NATO is more united than it's ever been, and I have no plans to talk with Putin. Wall Street Journal, Tarina.
Mr. President, you didn't mention SWIFT in your sanctions that you announced. Is there a reason why the U.S. Isn't doing that? Is there a disagreement among allies regarding SWIFT and whether Russia should be allowed to be a part of it?
The sanctions that we've proposed on all their banks have of equal consequence, maybe more consequence than SWIFT, number one. Number two, it is always an option, but right now that's not the position that the rest of Europe wishes to take. Cecilia Vega, ABC.
Sir, sanctions clearly have not been enough to deter Vladimir Putin to this point. What is going to stop him? How and when does this end? And do you see him trying to go beyond Ukraine And a second question I'll just give to you now. This statement that he gave last night the threat that he gave, the
What's
West
that?
will face consequences
switch it
greater
back?
than any you have faced in
do
history.
you
Is
mean?
he threatening a nuclear strike?
What? Turn my camera off?
I have no idea
Switch it
what
back.
he's threatening. I know what he has
What are you
done.
telling me to do?
Number
And
two,
I don't get what he's trying to
no
tell
one
me.
expected the
Switch
sanctions
it?
to prevent
Volume?
anything from happening.
What?
This is going to take time.
This?
And we have to show results.
Phone.
So he knows what's
What?
coming. And so the people
What? Oh, camera off?